Hello, all. This is your brother Opinion here with my sister Maddie, who is a life insurance agent. Today's episode is entitled Life Insurance. The reason why I wanted to write about life insurance because I'm very connected to the funeral service industry, and I see a lot of families come in who don't have their affairs in order, and quite frankly, is embarrassed, and they don't even know where to begin. So, Maddie, let me ask you, what made you become a life insurance agent?
Well, brother, thanks a lot for asking me. What basically made me become a life insurance agent was because my mother was diagnosed with cancer, and life insurance was not something that was ever, talked to me about, or no one ever talked to me about life insurance. I actually just had a friend have her agent come out, and he told me, "You need insurance," and I said, "Okay." But with my mom, she now had cancer,
Right,
and I actually called that same agent and was like, my mom has cancer, how do I get life insurance for her?
right.
And he basically told me she's ineligible for life insurance. So after, going through that whole process with my mom and then her passing away and, going through planning a memorial and, doing the obituary and funeral, I decided to get my license and become an agent
Wow.
to make sure that no one actually had to go through what I went through with getting insurance for my mom, finding a funeral home, and then that whole process.
Alright, so here we are. Listen in. Life insurance.
When is the right time to buy life insurance, really? Yesterday, I'm connected to a movement where families drown from the rain due to the negligence of purchasing a certain umbrella. Death is a promise. But it is one of those promises where you do not know when it will decide to knock on your front door. However, you can plan for it, or you can just believe in the fairy tale that you and your loved ones will be financially equipped after your departure. Answer me, y'all. How is it that you have insurance if your iPhone gets ran over and died, but you don't have insurance? If you get ran over and die, ooh, this is your brother to you husbands. It is good to cover your wife as a spiritual overseer, but there is another man she will need when your oxygen stops. His name is Benjamin. Come on, fellas, let's begin teaching our families what leaving a legacy really is all about.
So, Maddie, I appreciate you telling me about your parents. Well, your mom. And regardless to your testimony, what I don't understand is our parents, our mom, our dad, they tell us all about everything in life. Why don't our parents tell us the importance of life insurance?
You know what? I think it was never instilled in my mom or my mom's mom because my grandmother didn't have any life insurance and my
Oh,
grandfather actually died suddenly. So, in my family, I just don't think it was something that was a priority
got you,
or
got
actually
you,
even
got you.
discussed. And when I'm talking to clients and I meet people, and I'm actually told that often that no one has ever talked to them about life insurance
Same here.
or the importance and so on and so forth. So that's kind of why I developed my life insurance 101 workshop to teach people the importance of life insurance and what type of insurance they need at what stage of their lives, because a lot of people don't realize that a parent with children,
Mm-hmm.
their needs is different than maybe an older person with no kids,
Right.
or even a younger person who has a house versus someone who doesn't.
Got
You
you,
know what I mean?
got
We
you.
look on the news all the time and we see people passing away and children, and there's no insurance, and we're all collecting for the GoFundMe and so
Right.
on and so forth. And I think the GoFundMe and doing different things like that has kind of replaced life insurance.
Do you think that's a touchy topic for someone to ask someone with kids? Do you have life insurance for your kids? Do you think that's too personal?
Um,
Or we're just so unaware that the conversation needs to be had.
it definitely needs to be had. I think it depends on how you approach the
Gotcha,
conversation. You know
gotcha.
what I mean? Because again, a lot of people are uneducated, and it's funny because when you talk about life insurance and kids, a lot of times, because we all see the Gerber commercials, and Gerber is one of my companies, and we see Gerber talking about get insurance for the kids, which is really awesome. However, what I'm finding is that the parents don't have any life insurance on themselves, which is,
Wow.
a bigger problem. And the
Right.
sad part is that there isn't a connection. Like the parents don't realize that, wait a minute, I should have insurance on me
Right.
before I get insurance
Well,
on my
that's where I'm
children.
at. Like for me as a man, if you are a man and you don't have life insurance, you don't believe in a legacy. Because how I'm gonna be here, have a wife and kids, and I die, and I left them nothing for expenses, for vehicle, for school, for etc. Like what was I doing the whole time? I paid all these other bills. Then I die, and now my wife and kids have to scrounge around to try to get money. I mean, what kind of legacy is that? I think that's embarrassing. I think that's.
But I understand, and I totally agree with you. But let me ask you a question. Where was it instilled in you to want to leave a legacy for your family? Because, and I ask you that because sometimes those things are not instilled in our community, especially our men. So I'm glad that you're bringing up this topic and sharing this right now with other men, because
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
times we don't know.
Well, for me, I lost my father at 12.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So when you lose your father at 12, growing up in the inner city, I just had this internal vow saying, you know what, if I ever grow up and I be a father, I'm going to try to be all I can be, because life is so short.
Awesome sauce.
So life is so short. So even in that, if I didn't get a lot of time to parent them and groom them, at least I left them a nest egg, and hopefully, prayerfully, the resource will be used wisely to help them cultivate to be better individuals as they grow up. So when you lose a father early, time is so short. So if I can leave them a part of me and leave them some money.
Excellent. Excellent. No,
So,
you're right.
That was my approach. So here we are. This is your brother.